What's up YouTube, it's Authentic. Today I've got a video for you guys. It's about the new patch, the latest patch 5.30. Now in my opinion, this is the best patch that we have had in the game, and this version of the game is the best version of the game by far. We have AI presets, we have every round presets so we can change what our champions do per round. We have new skins and we also have Hydra. No, not everybody likes Hydra, but for me it's definitely a plus. But let's get into it. I'm going to show you guys with the new presets and the new AI system that we have in the game how you can never waste a run, or make sure that the 3% that happens and we lose fights because of the 3%, it doesn't actually cost you in energy. Now the main thing that happens is generally is evolving around your Lydia or any of your decreased defense champion. If your decreased defense doesn't land, then you're in trouble, unless you have Ghost Spawn, then it always lands. But if your decreased defense doesn't land with your champion, that generally throws you out of sync for the next wave, and you might not kill that wave in time. Now to get around that, obviously there are a few quick fixes. You want to make sure your decreased defense champion only does the decreased defense once. So once you do the decreased defense per wave, that's all you need. If you do get a decreased defense resisted, or your decreased defense didn't land and you only got weakened, that's completely fine. You'll eventually kill the wave and move on, and you will make sure that you will have your abilities available on the next wave. Now another thing that is a shadow buff, I would say. This is a slight buff to Kymar. Before, people used to prefer Renegade over Kymar because of consistency. Because Prince Kymar, if the weaken doesn't land or decreased defense got missed, then Prince Kymar would get punished severely. But now what you can do is on the first wave, tell Kymar no matter how many turns he takes, he will never do his seal of magic, so he won't reset the abilities. And at the start of the second wave or start the second round, you will then open with it, so all of your abilities are up and available. So a big buff to Kymar in this 5.30 patch. I think he's now by far the best reset in the game. Before, people were running a few different things to make sure, you know, the lose rate wasn't too high. So we have Royal Guard, who doesn't do hamstring on the waves. He doesn't do on the second wave. On the first wave it's fine. So he has it available on the third wave. So he has it available on the boss, so he gets his 4 hits in, and this way you will never fail a run. You should never ever fail a run. There will be enough damage on your champions to make sure that they always do enough damage to kill the wave before your team is under any real threat. So we go ahead and land the decreased defense and weaken perfectly. We go to the next wave and make sure everybody does the same thing. So we have a reset in case something went wrong. We do get resisted, however it's all fine. We'll eventually kill this champion, and because our abilities aren't going to be random or out of tune, it will still be fine, because whenever we get to the boss we have a different set of AI to make sure we tell our champions to do the right things. Now I was testing this out on stream. A lot of people mentioned a lot of good ways to kind of optimize how you want to run AI, and a few things they pointed out is that the Lydia on this team doesn't ever want to do her A3, which is a 2-hit, apart from once on the boss, because her animation is really long. So you only want her to do the A3 once to get the 2 hits into the shield, and after that she does A1 and A2, I believe. Apart from that, now you can tell your Allure to do whatever she wants, because the turn meter reduction is perfectly fine. Her other abilities can do a decent amount of damage, so you can go ahead and do that. Sia, I wouldn't change Sia's AI too much on the boss. I would only change it for the waves. She only needs to do 1 Karma Bun per wave. She doesn't really need to do the second one. However, it doesn't really make a difference if she does do the second one, because Kymar will be resetting at the start of the turn. However, if you had Renegade, then you would probably want to do one Karma Bun per wave and 1 nuke from Royal Guard per wave too, just to make sure you have enough damage going into the second wave. So this is for Fire Knight. I believe this to be equally important across all dungeons. Spider only has 1 round, so it doesn't affect the AI. It doesn't really do much for Spider, but Dragon, the same thing again. If your team has somebody who does decreased defense and weaken, like Dracomorph, you only tell him to do it once, and then the rest of the team would clean up. Again, this is another team where I can now bring in Kymar. As you can see, the Kymar was a big issue for a lot of people, because he was, not that he was innately more inconsistent, but it was because the weaken would be punishing so much for Kymar that it didn't really make sense. You rather have the 2 turns on the second wave, so you brought in Renegade. But now you can do the same sort of thing, so I would probably start with this opener. I'll tell Kymar never to do the reset on the first wave, and the rest is fine. On the second wave, make sure he starts with it. So you could go first, or you can go opener. You probably only need it once, so I'll save the second one for the third wave, and then on the third wave, he can do whatever he likes. Probably if he crits, it would be nice to get some poisons, even though he's weak affinity, so we'll probably tell him to just do these 2. Karma burn to start with on each of the waves, yeah, that's perfectly fine. Dracomorph, start with the same thing, I'd say. He probably would do this anyway, but we'll go ahead and put this AI on him. And it doesn't matter what he does on the last wave. Kymar, Ninja. I don't think there's anything interesting with Ninja. It's just the same A1 start, yep. Archmage, I believe his AI is fine too. We don't need to change much with him, because he always does Psychic Guidance to start with. But we'll just go ahead and put it on him too. Hopefully everybody's still geared up. The only issue with this team is because Renegade was running my shield set. So it'd be interesting to see if we have enough damage. I believe we'll be okay. I believe we would be okay with decreased defense and weaken, and then these 3 buffs, and then Veil. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. I don't actually run a shield set on my champions. But again, you can go ahead, if you don't have a Dracomorph, if you only have decreased defense, if you're running a shield set on... If you were running a shield set on your Archmage, you don't need the weaken, just bring in a decreased defense. If you're lucky enough to have Ghostborn, then that's amazing. But yeah, the main thing is the fails should never fail. Like, the runs should never fail. It's just not a thing anymore. It's such a great thing, because before we had the slight issue, even with optimizing, and I released a video quite recently about how you can make sure, even with the team that can be 3%ed, that it doesn't fail. But now with this AI change, everybody can have a 100% team for every dungeon. For Fire Knight, for Spider. Ice Golem's going to be a little bit tricky, but I do have some ideas of how you can probably improve Ice Golem. So let's get into Ice Golem. The way Ice Golem would want to be set up is we have Seer. Now the only lose condition we have with Seer is that if she does the Karma Burn on the boss and the damage is taking him over the threshold where he does Frigid Vengeance, I believe, and he ignores defense and kills us, that could be unfortunate. So what we want to do is make sure our Seer doesn't do Karma Burn on the last wave. So we want her to open with Karma Burn. I'm not really sure why I've got Clan Banner like this. So we want to do Karma Burn first every wave like this, and on the last turn on the last round we don't want to do Karma Burn at all. So even if she procs extra turn from A1 over and over again, she makes sure she doesn't do Karma Burn so she doesn't kill us. He's fine, Badel is fine. Ninja was missing a few pieces. I had to go back and fix the Ninja's pieces. It looked like Duchess took a few of his pieces, but this is fine. And we also pull Archmage into a shield set now, so we have the extra buffs. Because these waves are quite a bit more tankier than Dragon. We didn't need a shield set on Dragon, but this one we will need. Now Kymar, we want to do this. On the second wave we want him to do the reset, so we'll do this. Make sure he doesn't do the reset on the first wave. I think this is the main thing that you want to turn off. You don't want to do a reset on the first wave. As long as you're not resetting on the first wave and Kymar's the fastest champion on your team, he would always then lead into the second wave with his reset. So let's go ahead and take it for a run. We should have Kymar opening with his A1, do the buffs, and then we do the one shot. We didn't quite get through, but again, this is fine because Kymar would have generally reset there. But because this team doesn't have decreased defense and weaken, sometimes there is a champion left behind, so we just want to go ahead and clean him up. So on the first wave, if that happens and your Kymar did a reset and then Badel did poisons, and you can get stuck into a weird loop. So we go ahead and kill it, and so we wouldn't lose on the second wave because we started with Kymar reset. We won't lose on the last wave because Sia won't go ahead and get us killed. So we'll have the reset there, and she would have done the Karma Burn there if she had it available. But good thing we've turned it off, so there's no issues there. We'll just freeze, poison and burn these ads and the boss, so we'll be able to get rid of them. This run, getting stuck on the second wave is not perfect. It probably would be a minute and 20 seconds. Normally this team, when it doesn't do the extra turns on the second wave and the first wave, it comes in and around about a minute, but maybe it's be a minute and a half, minute 20 seconds. But yeah, this is what I normally run. I tried Ninja, going along with Ninja on this. However, I didn't really like the consistency of it. Maybe with this team now, I could probably try solo Ninja to see if I can make it work with the new AI. Maybe we can drop Bad Alcazar and bring in somebody else in Bad Alcazar's position. Maybe we could even bring in like a Draco Morph to add some poisons onto the boss. Or maybe Carvalax will be a good option. If we can get enough damage, we could probably try something different. But this is the AI I would suggest. Always turn off Kymar's reset on the first wave. And that's basically it. That is the patch so far. Obviously, fantastic patch, really good. Let me know what you guys think about this patch. Everybody's hype about the new Arbiter skins. The fact that Arbiter has like a new getup now. It's like, you know, if you're into skins and if you're into aesthetics, it's a cool thing. I've heard a lot of people say the Dark Fallen is their favorite. Personally, Lumaya is my favorite. Let me know in the comment section down below which one is your favorite. Drop the video a like if you enjoy the content, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.